Welcome back to DuckSport. In this week's video, as you can probably guess, we're dismantling the front end. So the plan for the engine bay is to pull everything out, tidy it all up, smooth it, fill the holes that we're not using, that kind of thing, and generally just make it a bit prettier. And then we're going to be painting it a colour that means quite a lot to me. As those of you who know me for a while will know, I used to own a Bug-Eye Subaru Impreza saloon, and I adored that car. It was absolutely fabulous. Unfortunately, other people liked that car as well, so much so that they broke into my house and stole it. And unfortunately, it disappeared. It was never seen again. There was a possible sighting a few hundred miles away from here, but honestly, at that point, it could have just been another car the same colour. And at the time, because of insurance and other stuff, I couldn't afford to have another one, and so that's actually how I ended up having my Triumph Spitfire, but that's a whole other story. And I never really got over it, which is why I've now got an Impreza wagon, because when it came up that I could have an estate car for a daily runabout, for me there was only one option, and that was an Impreza wagon. Now the Impreza wagon I've got is brilliant, but it's nothing compared to my old saloon that had sort of 280 horsepower. It was the fastest car I'd ever owned at the time, and yeah, just the look, the colour, everything was perfect. And so now, as this is going to be far and away the fastest car I've ever owned, and it has a colour scheme that would suit, I've decided I'm going to paint the engine bay Mica red. Now, let's get on to stripping this thing down. Little job I've just done then is tack the nuts onto the back of these brackets so that I don't have to get spanner and a socket on them, and also just dressed the really awful welds so they look slightly less awful. I think the penetration on them is good, so I'm going to call that good. And done the same for the oil cooler bracket. So yes, the welding is terrible. No, it doesn't really matter because they're not important brackets. If they fail, the worst thing that's going to happen is something's going to hang loose, and I can fix that with cable ties. So yeah, I'm happy enough with those. Yeah, that is the detachable section of the tube front of the car. That now needs prepping for paint and painting. This bottom section of the front is not detachable, and that's all welded on, so that will be painted on the car. Okay, another little job done. Needed to just obviously make sure the oil cooler will fit on its bracket, which it will, which also has allowed me to pick where to drill the hole for the washer bottle bracket. So that's going to go on there like that, and that'll do. Now I've just got to take it back off again. Next little job I'm going to do then is pull out the wiring loom, which should be really simple because I made it all nice and modular. Let's see how easy it is. There's the first half. And actually, just looking at it, I can leave the other half attached to the engine, so I might as well do that. The scary thing now is that means it's time to pull the engine out. And the reason that's scary should be pretty clear from this shot, I hope. Despite having a reasonable sized garage, I've got a rather lot of stuff in here, and I'm not sure where I'm going to put everything. One more time, I want to see your smile. I want to hold you tight, my sweetheart. One more life, don't let me say goodbye. Don't leave your dreams behind, my sweetheart. Got a bit of an issue with this engine crane. Clears the track rod, won't clear the track control arm. Yay! Means I've got to jack I don't even know. I think I've got to jack the car up to get the engine crane under to get the engine. What a faff. That shouldn't happen. Didn't think anyone had put a bolt in the trans mount. Apparently I have. Bugger. So engine is mostly out and not at all hanging precariously, but I need to roll the car back a little bit further to be able to actually pull it fully out and get it stored somewhere. So watch the car roll down the hill. Well, it didn't go shooting down the hill. That's a good start. Very nearly out now. And there we go, hanging free. So now I need to just work out where everything can live in here while I'm working on tidying up the engine bay and also be able to put the car away when I'm done for the day. I really need to give more thought to where I'm going to be putting stuff. So while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to crack on and do a couple of little bits. And first of all is I've poured out the little steering shaft. This links the column there to the rack there. It goes in like that. And when I made it, I didn't paint it, as you can see by the fact the bit in the middle that's been exposed is rusty. So I'm going to just give that a very light sand back and chuck some paint on it. Decided while I've got the etch primer in hand that I might as well clean up and give a quick coat of etch primer to the tube front that is welded to the car. So that's just got a quick coat of etch on it now to protect it, so it's not going to rust any more than it already had. So I still haven't worked out where the hell I'm going to put the engine and everything else that's in here and be able to get the car in as well. So I think what I'm going to do next is just start tidying up the engine bay. So it tends to come out pretty well on camera, but if I sort of point out, you know, you've got this crap here and here, all down here, all of this is really nasty, all the cross members really nasty, yeah, especially down there, that's all proper grim. So all of that stuff needs a proper clean up, and obviously as I'm painting the bay, the whole thing needs to be prepped for paint anyway. As I'm doing that, then I'm going to obviously tidy up some of the welds and other bits and pieces, so once we get to work on getting the clean done. And so for cleaning, I'm going to be using Auto Gleam Engine and Machine Cleaner, because it's the best stuff got to hand. There we go, that's looking a little better. So next up will be the real hard work of starting to make this all look pretty. Before I start doing that though, I really could do with starting to mask some of these bits off, and well, I'm out of masking tape, so I have got some on the way. It's due to arrive tomorrow, so I should be able to crack on and do that tomorrow. So for the rest of today, I'm going to tidy up, and I'm not going to bore you with that. So we'll fast forward to tomorrow. It's another day out here on the car, and it's windy again. So it means I can't do any painting outside, which means I'm going to have to paint the front tube frame inside. So I very quickly knocked up this. So just a piece of cardboard, just to stop me from getting any etch primer or anything else onto anything that I don't want it on. Hopefully that'll do. Okay, so that's a very quick coat of etch primer over the bare metal. So I'll just need to let that dry for a bit, then flip it over and just do any areas that I missed. But at least I've been able to get that started. Next up then, I've got to start masking off the engine bay. So the most important things here is masking off the areas that I want to make sure I don't get any dust or anything when I start doing the sanding. So primarily covering up the holes in the fuel pipes. Probably just going to take the charge cooler off. I also need to go around and work out which holes I do and don't need, and find a way of marking up the ones I don't need so that I can make sure I get those filled. Okay, so I've got those few little areas masked off. Okay, so I'm now just going to start removing other bits that can be removed prior to starting this work. So the brake lines can come off, and the bracket for the washer bottle and the charge cooler, they can all come off. Oh, and the horn. So all of those now are going to come off. This main T-piece and the bulkhead connector for the wideband, they can't come off, so they're just going to now be masked over to protect those. Something this has reminded me is that I haven't made the bracket for that little T-piece yet, so I need to make sure I do that when I do the reassembly. So that's everything pulled out the bay that I'm going to be pulling out. I just need to tidy off the tops and actually cover that multi-pin connector that's still in there as well, and then I can start sanding. To find out how it turns out, you're going to have to watch next week's video, when hopefully I'll be sanding this back and getting some paint on it. As always, thank you for watching, and if you did enjoy the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell next to it in order to get notifications on when our next videos come out.